everybody. Today we are going to make zucchini, corn, and pesto stuffed portobello mushrooms that have been marinated in a balsamic vinaigrette. I think I better come up with a shorter name than that. So first, a couple things about portobello mushrooms. They are actually the same as a cremini mushroom. Cremini mushrooms, those smaller brown ones that you see in the grocery store that are about the size of the normal white button mushrooms, those are actually small portobello mushrooms, and that's why they're sometimes called baby bellas. So cremini and portobello, same thing. These are just the mature, full-grown cremini mushrooms. So when you're picking out a portobello mushroom, I recommend that you buy them individually so you can see the underneath side of each one of them. And what you want to look for is that the gills, these feathery gills inside, are really dry and feathery. If they're moist at all and mushy, then that's an old mushroom. So that's what you want to look for. Now, in preparing a portobello mushroom is a little bit different than a regular mushroom. If you're stuffing, for example, with other mushrooms, you'll oftentimes take the stem, chop it up, and put it in your mixture, but you don't want to do that with portobellos. You don't want to eat the stem of a portobello. It's very fibrous and woodsy. So you want to pop off the stem, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. You can, if you don't have enough to, they usually just pop off pretty easily, just like that. If you don't have much to grab, just use a little paring knife and cut it off. And then you actually want to remove these gills. If you don't and you cook it, it gives your food a real muddy flavor. And a lot of people don't know to do that. And it's actually very easy to do. They come out very easily with a spoon. So you just want to gently scrape those all out. And that's what they'll look like when you're done cleaning them. So unless you like the taste of mud or chewing on things that taste like and feel like wood, this is what you want to do first. And then you just want to wipe the caps off with a damp napkin or paper towel. That's really all the cleaning you want to do. You just want to get any excess dirt that might be on them off. Now we're just going to put our 2 mushroom caps in a large Ziploc bag. And then I've mixed together here for a marinade just 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 2 minced garlic cloves. And I'm just going to put that in there. I like to put them upside down like that so the bottoms are up, and pour half in each one just to help disperse it. And then you want to push a little bit of the air out, seal it up, and you're going to want to let this marinade at room temperature for at least 2 hours. And you just kind of want to gently spread it around so it gets on both sides. And sometimes what I'll do is I'll flip it over after an hour and just spread it around a little bit. So then you just set that aside. I've already got 2 that have been marinating. So they'll just look like that when they're done. So what we're going to do now is just take them out and place them on our cookie sheet. And you want to save this little bit of marinade. Because we're marinating a mushroom and not raw meat, we can still use this. So we're going to make a little bit of a dressing with this a little bit later. So just set this aside for now. And we're going to make our filling. And I've got 1 3/4 cup of diced zucchini. You want to cube them at about 1/4 inch. And it's about, to make 2 of these and to get about 1 3/4 cup, you just need 1 sort of small, medium-sized zucchini. And I've got 1/2 cup of corn. You can use fresh corn, you can use frozen corn. Either way, if you use frozen, just thaw it first. And we're going to add to this 1 tablespoon of pesto. You can make homemade pesto, you can buy already prepared pesto, either will be fine. First, we're going to saute our zucchini and our corn just in a little bit of oil for about 3 to 5 minutes on medium heat, just to get the zucchini a little bit cooked before putting it in the oven. And the only seasoning I'm going to add when I'm sauteing is just a little bit of salt and pepper. There's so much flavor going on in our filling and our marinade that that's really all we need. Okay, so my zucchini and corn has been sauteing for 5 minutes in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper. And to this, all we're gonna add is 1 tablespoon of pesto. Remember, it can be homemade, it can be store-bought. It's either way is fine. And just mix that in. And between just a little bit of salt and pepper and the pesto is gonna give all the flavor that you need for your filling. And this reduced down quite a bit when it was cooking, so you end up having about 3/4 of a cup for each of your mushrooms. So I'm just gonna divide this into each one. And if your mushrooms aren't flat exactly, sometimes you can just shave just a teeny bit off the bottom to make them sit nice and flat so your filling doesn't fall out to one side. Okay, and then I'm just gonna top them with simply, I have a 1/4 cup of shredded mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna resist my normal instinct of smothering things in cheese and just do a little bit this time. So I'm gonna just divide that between the two. So do the mozzarella cheese first. And then on top of that, I'm going to add, this is a 1/4 cup. It's half shredded Parmesan cheese and half panko. So 1/8 cup of each, just mixed together. And I'm just gonna sprinkle this on top, divide between the two. That's gonna give it a really nice little crunch, and the Parmesan cheese will brown and look really pretty, just like that. And that's it. So we're gonna pop these into our oven, which has been preheated to 400. And normally these will bake, depending on the size of your mushroom, 15 to 20 minutes. These were pretty big and thick, so I'm gonna go ahead and put them in for 20 minutes, and we'll be back when they're done. Okay, while our mushrooms are cooking, we're gonna use our leftover marinade and make a little dressing. So pour the marinade out of the bag into a little bowl. I like to try to scrape it with a spatula and get the little, leftover pieces of garlic and every little bit. And to the marinade, I am just going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a 1/2 teaspoon of honey, and then 1 extra tablespoon of olive oil. And you just want to whisk this together. So I made the mistake of not slowly drizzling my olive oil into my little dressing, so it took a little bit longer to emulsify it and blend it together. So slowly add your olive oil as you're blending it together. There, that looks good. And just add just a little bit of salt and pepper. And then you can also get your plates ready. What I like to do is serve it over a bed of just iceberg lettuce. I like it because it's crunchy and fresh. And usually about 2 cups per person is perfect. So you can get your plates ready with that. You've got your dressing ready and you're all set. Okay, these have been in the oven for 20 minutes and they look perfect. I can tell that the mushrooms are nice and soft and cooked all the way through, and they've got a little bit of a nice crispy brown on top, so that's just what you want to see. So what I like to do is just serve them right in the center of the lettuce, just like that. And then I'm just going to just drizzle it with a little bit of our dressing. You don't really need that much because when you cut into the mushroom and the pesto and the juices from the stuffing is going to help dress your salad. It tastes really good all together. So just a little bit to make it pretty. And there you go. Beautiful lunch or dinner. It's perfect. It's so filling and so healthy. That's going to be pretty hot, but I want to show you how it looks on the inside. And it's such a nice contrast with the hot mushroom and the crispy, cool lettuce. I just love this together. It's so good. It's such a great flavor combination between the tang of the balsamic vinegar and the flavors in that basil pesto. I just love the combination. And you see when you start eating it, it just creates this beautiful salad together. So this was especially for Dawn and her daughter, Morgan. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. So I hope you'll give it a try. You can head on over to the website, noboneslife.com, to download and print the recipe. And I hope you'll let me know how you like it. See you next time.